Our best wishes to Sam Riegel, some new D&D dragon designs, and another Rings of Power update.
Just come with me. Come on.
Welcome to Tabletop Tuesday, our first news rundown of the week. Today we're talking about some important Critical Role updates, some new D&D dragon designs, and more. Now remember, if you like these kinds of videos, be sure to like and subscribe so we can keep making them. Now, on to the news.
Check this out.
Sam Riegel has provided an important update about his health. On Monday, Critical Role posted a video in which Sam explained that his prolonged absence from Critical Role programming was due to receiving treatment for cancer of the tonsil.
Hey friends, you may have noticed I was gone for a bit. Part of that was because sometimes robots go boom. But mostly it was because for the past few months I've been dealing with a medical issue that I wanted to talk to you about.
Sam underwent surgery and had a course of chemotherapy for the treatment and is now on the mend, although he noted that the surgery impacted his ability to speak as a part of his tongue and soft palate was removed.
I spent 4 days in the hospital. I ate from a feeding tube. I had to relearn how to speak and swallow, which is why you may notice my diction is a bit slurry. But they got the cancer.
In the video, Riegel also advocated the HPV vaccine, as HPV causes several kinds of cancer, including the one that Riegel had and can be prevented by using the vaccine. Now, we'll add that Sam alluded to his recent health struggles with his character's Breus's entrance during the most recent episode, with Breus making his initial appearance with a gaping throat wound, one that matches the new 7-inch scar on Sam's throat.
The armor is white, save for an icon emblazoned on his chest that resembles 2 black horns. When you see him, you notice that everything on his body is black or white, except for the blood pouring from his throat.
That is Sam for you, always with a twist of the knife when you least expect it. Our best to Sam and his family and friends, and we hope for a quick recovery and that he continues to get better.
It's all about believing that everything's gonna work out in the end.
Wizards of the Coast has debuted the new look for 3 D&D dragons, with 2 having very drastic changes. Last week, Games Radar and Screen Rant debuted the new looks for the green and black dragons. The green dragon has taken on more of a serpentine form, with a much longer and thicker tail and shorter wings to allow for more maneuverability as it climbs across trees. The black dragon has also gotten a brand new look, with the ancient black dragon in particular having their skull exposed to reflect that they've spent hundreds of years spewing acid. We also got a brand new look at the brass dragon, which, I guess looks fine, but doesn't really look quite as iconic and dangerous as the chromatic dragons. Those new dragons, they're pretty freaking cool.
It's the coolest!
Phantasy Star is getting a new tabletop RPG. The classic Sega game series is getting a tabletop RPG courtesy of Sky Dawn Game Studios. The game will use the Esper Genesis game system, which is a 5e system built around sci-fi settings instead of high fantasy. Players will be able to create their own heroes or roleplay as classic Phantasy Star characters from the setting. The RPG will also include a setting guide with illustrations and expanded lore on Phantasy Star's universe. This new RPG will launch in 2025.
The distant future.
Soon, you'll be able to buy all of Delicious in Dungeon at once. Yen Price announced that Delicious in Dungeon will be getting a complete box set containing all 14 volumes of the manga and a Mimic Treasure chest box. Also included is a poster collecting all of the monsters from the back covers of the volumes. Now, us personally, we don't have hard copies of Delicious in Dungeon, and it's been kind of hard to get them since the anime series came out, so we're actually looking forward to this release, and we'll probably splurge. If you're interested in buying me a Christmas present, well, now you know what to look for.
This is not your best work, Chris.
Steamforged has announced that they will be running a Kickstarter for Strangelight Workshop, a new standalone Iron Kingdoms RPG. Players will take on the role of investigators that are delving into the otherworldly eldritch mysteries of the Iron Kingdoms world. This RPG was previously announced by Privateer Press a few years ago, but fell to the wayside during that company's struggles. But it's back now and will launch on Kickstarter later this month.
Trying to make things go back to the way they were.
2 RPG publishers have launched in the last week. Josh Simons, formerly of Demiplane, and V Muse have launched Broken Door Games, a new tabletop RPG studio. Their first game has actually been announced and is called Paragons, a superhero RPG inspired by the likes of Teen Titans, Batman the Animated Series, and My Hero Academia. Meanwhile, Emmett Byrne, most recently of Cubicle 7, has launched Old Oak Games, which is focused on creating magical and terrifying worlds based on Irish myths and legends. We look forward to seeing what both game studios have to offer soon.
Good news, everyone!
And finally, we're getting more details about the upcoming season of Rings of Power. Several sites released their site visit articles ahead of the show's release, giving us new details about the Lord of the Rings show. In addition to a heavier focus on Adar, who is that corrupted original elf that calls himself an orc, because I guess, he is one, we're also going to see more action, more battles, and more creatures, both new and classic ones from Tolkien lore. Now remember that the show launches in August on Prime Video. Honestly, with how hard they're hitting the marketing press for this, it's kind of hard to forget. Well, that's all the stories that we have for you today. Don't forget to comment on which story was your favorite, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.